Chapter 26. As snow in summer, and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet, and drinketh damage. The legs of the lame are not equal, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. The slothful man saith, There is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom, it grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. As a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, Am not I in sport? Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is the contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it shall return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. Verse 1, As snow in summer, that's not appropriate, and as rain in time of harvest, and that's not appropriate, especially in the area of Israel, so honor is not appropriate for a fool. You don't give honor to a fool and just totally waste it. And this is something which we learned from Job that isn't necessarily always true, but which people think about. As the bird by wandering and the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. In other words, nothing negative, nothing bad is going to happen to somebody unless there's a cause. Now, birds move by wandering around, swallows by flying. Curses come because of a specific cause. That's what Job's friends thought, but it wasn't the way it was. There was a cause, but it wasn't the cause they thought. Verse 3, a whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. They lived in a time where physical corporal punishment was very, very common. And those are things that steer people, steer the horse, steer the ass, and steer people towards doing what they're supposed to do. And here's an interesting, verse 4, Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like him. And 5, Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. Basically, I think the second one is saying, show him by the way you answer him that he is being really dumb. So if his folly is a certain way, use the way he's trying to communicate as a way to show him just how dumb it looks to everybody else. Verse 6, he that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. Basically, if you send something important by somebody who is foolish, don't count on it ever getting there. Don't even think about it. Verse 7, the legs of the lame are not equal. So if somebody is lame, usually very often it's a birth defect in their hearing, in their time. And so one leg would be longer than the other one, or one leg would be bent and the other one would be straight. And as those legs are not equal, a parable in the mouth of fools is not going to be the same as a parable in the mouth of a wise man. Verse 8, as he that bindeth a stone in a sling. Now, the reason you put a stone in a sling is so that you whirl it around and then you throw it at something. That's what the purpose of the stone is. To bind a stone in a sling is to see to it that it can't leave the sling. You can't throw it because it is tied to it. That's what binding means. So is he that giveth honor to a fool. Perfectly silly. No point in doing it. It isn't serving any function, any purpose whatsoever. The great God that formed all things rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. Now, that means that he is the great God that formed everybody and everything. Will see to it that those fools, those people who are fools, and those people who are transgressors will have rewards, have things happen to them that are appropriate to their circumstances. That isn't always the way it appears on the outside, but it's in the long run, that's always what happens. Sometimes the things that happen after this life. Let's see. Verse 12, seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? Somebody who is sure that he is the wisest guy, the smartest man all around? There is more hope for a fool than there is for somebody who's absolutely sure he's a complete genius. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way. A lion is in the streets. And basically that's saying, I'm not going to go out. I can't do anything out there. There's a lion out there. Well, lions did not go into cities and communities there. It was a false excuse. The sky is falling. I might get hurt. Verse 15, the slothful hideth his hand in his bosom. It grieveth him to bring it out it again to his mouth. Now, this one's kind of odd, but what we think it basically means is that if the person takes his hand by which he might do some good and puts it inside his clothing so it is not available to do good, he's hiding away from doing work, from doing anything good, anything beneficial, but especially from doing work. It grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. He doesn't want to show people that he can use it, that it's available to him, that it's there. Interesting concept, But that's what, oh, my hand hurts, oh, I can't do anything with it. And then the next thing you know, he's using it to feed himself. Interesting thought. The sluggard is wise. The sluggard is a lazy man. Is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. So he is wiser. The sluggard is really wise in his own lies to himself than 7 men that can find a reason to do things.